Hello everyone, in this video I'm going to talk about graphing linear inequalities, but these are simultaneous linear inequalities. Okay, so here's a very good example and a very practical analyzing question for you guys. So the school is planning a musical concert. So by the way, I do have a music going on in the back. Now the number of adult tickets sold is represented with the letter A, and the number of students or children tickets sold are represented with the letter C. Now the hall can seat at most 150 people. So this is given by A plus C is less than or equal to 150. And each child must be accompanied by an adult. So which means the second equation that you're going to have represented with an inequality is A is greater than or equal to C. So A can be equal to C, but it have to be greater. And C cannot be greater, all right, than A. So now if you look at these two inequalities, to solve them, sometimes you can represent with X and Y. So let's call, if you want to represent your adult ticket as X and children's ticket as Y, then you would write X is greater than or equal to Y. In other words, Y is less than or equal to X, right? And then Y equals X when you're solving the equation. So these are your two equations actually that you have to first graph. So Y is equal to X, and then X plus Y is equal to 150, where X is representing the adult's ticket. So let's see if that is our scenario, then what would the graph be? Now anytime you want to graph a line, you need 2 points, and the quickest way is by finding the intercepts. So x-intercept is found by setting y to 0. So when y is 0, x is 150, and you write that as a coordinate point as 150 comma 0, and your y-intercept, which is by setting x to 0, you would write that as y equals 150. So 0 comma 150 is the coordinate point. So if you scroll down a little bit, the blue line that you see on my graph here, right, that is the line that is A plus C equals 150, where I have represented A on my x-axis and C on my y-axis. So put the points and then just draw the line. But now it's not really an equation, it's an inequality. So that means it is A plus C is less than or equal to 150. Because it is less, I'm going to graph or shade it below the line. So you see my green marker right here, that is what is representing that it is less than 150, less than or equal to 150. And also I have done another video where you can clearly know there's something called as mathemojis, and whether to use a solid line or a broken line to represent this inequality, that would be quite helpful. Now the second line, y equals x, is a line that is passing through the origin, right? And they are saying that the y is less than or equal to x. So less than this pink shade right here, that's what I would graph it. But since the intersection region of or overlapping region is right here, now if you have swapped your A and C the other way around, right, then you would have, in your overlapping region would be this red marked region. So it depends on where you have used or where you have placed your A and C, and that's how the regions would be overlapped. Now, so that's why when you're solving this particular question, there are two possible answers, and make sure that you label your axis. So if you don't label your axis and just write or just graph, it sometimes can be confusing what you have assumed to be and placed on which axis what variable. All right guys, thanks again, thanks for listening, and thanks for learning. Hope you have enjoyed this video. Check out some more videos for expanding your knowledge. Have a wonderful, blessed day. Bye-bye.